Coming up on this week's episode, Fraser smashes his head open. Kai plays copyrighted music, but uncopyrighted. The Queen does a tap dance in front of the President, and more on this week's episode of... Help! I suck at the program! My name is Fraser.
And my name is Kai.
And how are you, Kai?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Fraser?
I'm doing also very well, thank you.
That is good to hear.
Yes.
Yes.
CompareTheMeerkat.com. There was a little bit of a gag just before we started saying this bit of tapdancethemeerkat.com. That should be the new brand campaign for Compare the Market. But
speaking of meerkats, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You remember I did my stream the other week?
You did.
Of the crazy time. Yeah.
You did. Yep.
My friend messaged me the other day saying there's a guy called Oleg in there. And he asked me if I could come into the chat, and I said yeah. And we both asked him if he was named after the meerkat.
Oh my god.
And
what did he say?
Well, I have no idea what meerkat you are on about, but I don't think so. And then, like, another person came in, like, 5 minutes later, and we asked, oh my god, are you named after the meerkat? Just some random, like, Finnish name or whatever, Latvian name.
Yeah.
And we just asked them if they were named after the meerkat, and they didn't answer.
Oh, that's a shame. We'll never know unless they come back again and you ask them
so
again.
I made it like a thing that whenever someone like that comes on in the future, have to ask them if they're named after a meerkat.
You have to do it on the stream as well.
Oh, 100%. Next Saturday.
Is it next Saturday now?
Yeah, next Saturday. Well, actually, this Saturday it'll be once this is out.
Oh, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah. I've been working on my highlights thing, but it's a 4-hour bloody stream. It's taken forever.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Like, I wanted it out this weekend to say, next weekend I'm doing another one! But at this rate, it's going to be out the day before.
I was thinking of, like, last time I ended up playing along at the very end and I lost a lot of money.
Yep.
I should have done it earlier, because obviously that would have paid off nicely. I was thinking maybe I should do it again this weekend, but what if you have a bad weekend?
I could have a bad weekend.
It's just so tempting, but at the same time...
I think this time I'm going to put a little tiny bit more in.
Okay.
But like, my maximum last time was 50 quid. This week I might do, 65.
That's a good idea.
Just because then it can last that little bit longer if it does have a bad weekend.
I think your 50p spins were good as well, because it lasts you such a long time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think, asking people, like, phoning them up and saying, like, hey, what number do I pick? That sort of stuff was always good as well, because it meant that it wasn't just, like, a random bet.
Oh, definitely.
On the same thing over and over and over again.
Definitely.
So I think I'm definitely going to do that again.
Do you reckon you're going to play the same game, or do you reckon you're going to change it up a little bit?
You know what? I think I might. It's just a lot of fun. It's the most fun. It's more fun than watching slots, I think.
That's true, yeah.
And it's more fun than any other like live games as well.
There is one other game.
Too expensive.
Which you've probably... Okay, there isn't another game.
Monopoly's awful on there.
It's actually good. It's got the same.
Bad.
It's got the same chances as Crazy Time. It's got the exact same chances. It's literally just with the whole CGI characters and all that. And I find the whole CGI-ness quite cringy. But
it's quite funny though.
It is actually quite a good game. And the other good thing is that people can't click with Crazy Time, but people can click with Monopoly.
What?
So like familiarity.
Oh, right. I see.
Obviously people know that you've done Crazy Time. People obviously probably know Crazy Time a lot more now. But people also just by house, by it being a household name,
Monopoly a bit.
Understand Monopoly. So it could be worth giving Monopoly also a go.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it a little bit. I don't know. I could never get into it when I like played it previously to like do any sort of streaming stuff on them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll give it a try, but I feel like the multipliers and stuff that you see in Crazy Time seem a bit more exciting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, fair enough. We'll see. Yeah. There's always time. So
find out on Saturday.
Yes, is it going to be Saturday? Saturday 27th.
Saturday 27th. I've kind of made it a thing. It's going to be the last Saturday of every month.
That's a good idea.
I'm bored of doing it.
Oh, and you know what? In March, it's also going to be Saturday the 27th. So everybody, keep your eyes peeled for the next 2 Saturday, the 27th. Kai will be streaming over on his YouTube channel, Kai Ross-Best. Obviously, you're all probably subscribed. Unless he can't, because his leg's fallen off or something.
Yeah, fair.
No, do it from hospital. Stream from hospital.
Nurse, what's the Wi-Fi password? I need to play Crazy Time.
What are you doing, Kai? I'm gambling the payout from my health insurance on Crazy Time.
Oh, that'd be funny. But yeah, stay tuned for the next Saturdays of them.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. So what have you been up to this week then, Kai?
You know what? Not much.
Really?
I've been editing. It's been actually really nice.
That's
the
good.
Last couple of days, weather-wise. Spent some time out in the garden yesterday because it was 15 degrees.
Really? No way.
Yeah, and today, right this second, have a guess what the temperature is?
Let's go with 15 again.
13.
Oh, that's still pretty good.
And you would never believe there was snow last week, would you?
No, it's so crazy how sporadic the weather is at this time of year. It really is like night and day. And do you know what? I kind of like it being that way. It's nice to have that mixture of winter, but also the hint of warmth as it comes up to spring and summer.
Yeah.
Like, it's not warm. It's nothing amazing, but it's enough for us to get a little bit excited that it's coming up.
Well, it's 1 month till spring. Think of it that way.
It is. 1 month to go.
Yeah, so that's nice. But other than that, not really too much. I took my dad yesterday up to our local health centre, and he got his first COVID vaccine. Yay!
That's really good news. I bet it feels a little bit more real now that there's finally something close to home with the vaccination.
It does. It so does. And he hasn't had any side effects. The only thing that he said is his arm aches a little bit, which is normal.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny because we were sat in the car and a lady came up to the window. Probably the first person I've spoken to in 6 months or 4 months or whatever. And the weirdest thing is as well, on the way back, I saw my bass player. We waved at him through the window of my car.
Nice.
And he opened the window and went, "Hey, congratulations!" to my dad. And then kept going. And then after that, I went up to bloody, what was it? Home Bargains or something like that, because we needed some food, and it was like on the way back. And I bumped into our guitarist and singer as well.
Oh my god, so you've pretty much seen your old band.
Yeah, I've seen 2 of them. That's the first time I've seen either of them in 4 months.
I bet that was nice. And you were recently just saying as well that you literally haven't seen anybody different in 4 months.
Yeah, I've seen no one.
God, so to bump into all of them in one day, that's got to be a massive coincidence. Like, what a massive coincidence.
Nice. That was quite nice. But yeah, anyway, he had his jab, and neither of us knew that it had happened.
What do you mean?
Like, the lady came up and she was like, "Okay, here we go," to him, and like she was just talking and just generally talking, and it was done before either of us knew.
What? So your dad didn't feel it, or
no?
It just went so quick. No way.
Really quick, easy.
God, I wish I had that sort of tolerance to jabs.
I have that tolerance. But
I always have to talk. And the last time I had a jab, I think it was in the end of secondary school, and it's one of those booster jabs that you're pretty much required to have. I can't remember what it is. MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. I can't remember.
Yeah, that one. MMR, measles one, or whatever it is.
That's it. So I had that. That was my last one, and I don't mind, like, obviously getting the jab. I'll deal with the pain, but I just can't look at it happening. That's fair. I'm always super talkative. I don't want to be told when it's going in because I don't want to prepare. I just need to know that it's going to be going in within the next 10 seconds.
The airplane.
As long as it goes in within like the next 10 to 30 seconds, then I know that it's going to be coming, but I just don't want to know when. I'd rather it just happen. So I know that when I last had it, I was talking quite a bit just to try and distract myself, like just talking to the doctor about what she was doing in life. But
what
you're lucky.
Doing in life? Yeah, you know, I'm just about to jab you with this.
What? So you're literally saying when you have jabs, you don't feel any pain?
No.
Wow.
I mean, I guess it's quite handy that I get tattoos and stuff as well.
Oh, that's such a good point.
My worst pain tattoo was on my thigh, but that was up by like my the no areas.
No, don't touch me there. This is my no square.
Like, it's when it gets towards your top of your leg, because obviously not much happens at the top of your leg that often.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the worst sort of pain that I felt with a tattoo. Before that was the bottom of my leg. But my arms and stuff, they've always been fine. Like my big Alice Cooper one, the worst for that was down by my wrist. But nah, otherwise, no one in my family really has any problem with tattoos, jabs, whatever.
It's got to be the whole tattoo thing, which is
Yeah, but my dad doesn't have tattoos. He doesn't. He's fine with all of it. So.
Oh, well, fair play.
Who knows? But
good on him. When does he have a second one, or has that not been announced yet?
They said he'll get a message, but I think it's in about 8 weeks. So
oh, okay, that's not too bad then.
Probably April, May sort of time.
Gosh. Finally some light at the end of a tunnel, eh?
Yeah, and I think the best thing that we've seen is it was shared the other day that all adults should have their first one by the end of July.
Please be the case. I really want summer.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so desperate for
if
summer.
If we have our first one by the end of July, that means our second one should be September.
Oh, I can have it from a birthday! That would be
Actually,
the best birthday present.
I say that. It would be, because we're in that 20 to 25 bracket, aren't we? So
yeah.
We'll get it before the 18s. So we'd probably be like end of June, beginning of July sort of time.
Oh, we'd hope so.
So then end of August, beginning of September, I'd reckon.
I don't even want to like go abroad or anything. Like, it'd be nice to go abroad, but I just want to have some form of normality back where I can go see people. I can go down to yours and we can just go on the beach or something. Like, that would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Or like we go to London and oh my god, I've just realised.
Meanwhile, I've still got my bloody holiday booked in October.
Yeah, you've still got Orlando booked. Like 2 years ago, I also got given an experience at the Olympic Park, and we still need to do that.
Oh, we do. We can go.
That was supposed to expire. I think it was June or July last year, and then they extended it to December, and then they extended the voucher validity to it's either March or May. I'm gonna have to check that, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to extend it again anyway because it's definitely
it's been
closed.
Down.
Exactly. So I'm gonna be by the time I get it over and done with, that's gonna be like a 2-year-old present.
Oh, we'll have to go and do it. We'll have to bring a GoPro with us.
Oh, that would be cool.
I still want to get a GoPro because I want to do like some fancy underwater shots and stuff. You know, when that time comes again.
I think that's probably a good time to get it.
Time video.
That'd be a good test. You could do underwater bath time for Coda.
Oh, yeah.
Now's probably a good time to get it though, because they're doing like quite a lot of frequent sales as nobody's going out and using the GoPros.
That's true. I keep seeing on my Amazon wish list because I've had one in there for a couple of years. I think it's the 8. Now let's upgrade. Yeah, it's the 8. Price has dropped by 6%, but the other day it was down to like 260 quid rather than 306 where it is now.
That's quite good.
It's not bad. Waterproof, 4K, very nice.
Do it. Go get one. Buy it
now.
now.
I will at some point. But I mean, even then, the 9 that's quite cheap. That's $399.
That's not too bad. That's quite.
And that's got the screen on the front as well.
Maybe get that instead.
Yeah, could be worth it.
It'll be good for vlogging and all of that if needed.
Yeah.
Seeing exactly what's coming out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I reckon that'll be alright. Get it tomorrow if I wanted.
Do it.
I don't want it yet. I have no reason to get it yet. I still want a drone as well, you know.
Oh, resist it. Resist it for now.
I'm resisting it, but I do want one eventually.
They're so fun to play with.
Oh, I bet. I just want them for like music video purposes and stuff, so I don't have to go and hire someone to be like, hello, it's time for you to film me. But
fair play.
Knows?
Well, sounds like you've had quite a good week.
Yeah, it's been pretty decent, and yeah, it's quite good.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you? What have you been up to this week?
Well, I'd like to say I've got a story. I mean, I have one story, but otherwise, I don't really have anything else that's been going on. I've been focusing on sorting out things for the YouTube channel. I've been focusing on work as well. But the one big drama that's happened in my life at the moment was I fainted for the first time the other day. It was so strange. Now, I'm going to give the context to it because I didn't just faint. There was stuff which happened before it. And I feel like it's important to share that because otherwise it literally just sounds like I've gone in the middle of nowhere. So what happened was I went to sleep quite late one night and I was really, really tired. And normally what happens is I'll get in bed, I'll scroll through TikToks, and then I'll go to sleep. And
you'll message me them too.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll message Kai them too. Now, that night when I went to bed, I was really, really tired. So I barely went on my phone. And I just went to sleep, really. I just went straight to sleep. I think sent a few messages and then that's it, sleep. Now, normally what happens is, I don't know how you sleep, but I usually am a mixture between sleeping on my front and then sleeping on my back.
I just sleep everywhere.
That you're not wrong. That is a super true statement. You do sleep everywhere. Yeah. Diagonals, triangles, the lot.
Lately, it's been more, I'm kind of on my side, and Coda has the rest of the bed.
Now you know how it feels.
Oh, I do. I don't want to push him.
No, you can't push the dog. That'll just be mean.
No, it's not fair.
Anyway, so I usually sleep on my front to begin with, because I used to always sleep on my front without fail. But then I started over the last year and a half, maybe 2 years now, adapting to sleeping on my back. And that was mainly because when I had my face operation, I had to sleep on my back and make sure that my cheek wasn't going on the pillow. So I naturally sat on my back. Anyway, so I got used to that. And what happened that night was I went to sleep on my front and I literally was straight out. I was straight to sleep. And I don't even remember lying on my back. And clearly I didn't, because at gone 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. And I don't know why I woke up. Normally I wake up and it's like, oh, I had a bad dream, or, oh, I've heard someone outside or inside doing something, because my family usually get up quite early sometimes if they have an early shift at work. Or I need a pee or something. Anyway, I don't know why I woke up. And I quickly realised that it was because my hand had really, really, really massive pins and needles. It didn't, but it did as soon as I got up. So I turned on my light, I had a look at my hand, and I realised I couldn't move it. I could not move my hand at all. It was completely limp. It was literally one of those where you could lift up your hand, and then you could let go of it with your other hand, and it would drop. It would be limp to gravity. I could not control my hand, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck?
I've had this.
It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Now, I've never had anything as numb as that in my life. I literally had no feeling with that hand. I had no control of my hand. I had absolutely nothing to do with that hand other than I could touch it with my other hand and my other hand would feel it, but not my hand.
It sounds really weird. I had nothing to do with that hand.
Yeah.
That hand had nothing to do with me.
I don't even know that hand. It just appeared.
It started talking to me in a German accent.
I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, so I was there for about 5 minutes. I managed to open up my bottle of drink and had a quick drink from it, but I couldn't shut the lid. So I went to the bathroom. I was like, oh, fuck, what do I do? I went to the bathroom and I was like, I'm going to run some water on it to try and get some feeling back. Now, this is after 5 minutes of trying to control it in bed because I just didn't know what to do. I'd never, ever... Like, numbness didn't even cross my mind at that point. The fact that I probably fell asleep on it, and that's why it went numb, that didn't even cross my mind. Anyway, I went to the bathroom, I was going to run some water on it, realised that running water at that time of night probably would have been very loud. Wasn't actually the case, but tired me thought that. And then I started panicking.
Oh, dear me. Dearie me.
Hello.
Hold on.
Hello. Who's that? Get her on the podcast. Is that a special guest?
That was my mum.
Oh, get her on the podcast.
Let me.
You gonna call your mum? Go on, live call for the podcast.
10 minutes.
Oh, you know you want to get her on.
Oh, no, I said I'd call her about 5 o'clock.
All right, fair enough.
Oh.
Anyway, so I was panicking, and I started getting like a bit dizzy at that point.
I like how it went from, I was panicking. Oh, hello, Mum. So I was panicking.
It's panicking about your mum calling, actually.
Oh. Yeah, that's the real reason.
And I started feeling a bit dizzy. I started feeling a little bit lightheaded. And next thing I knew, I was kind of like stumbling a bit, like, oh God, what do I do? I feel a bit sick. And the other thing that happened is my dad somehow appeared outside the bathroom. Now, what I think I can kind of remember is I started banging on the bath. Not like me intentionally banging on the bath, but I started like losing consciousness, so I started tripping and I tripped on the bath and then made a bang. So my dad came outside and he's like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Are you okay? And then the final thing I remember is me saying, I don't feel very well. Next thing I know, I've gone from the side of the bath to lying down by the shower. And it turns out, from what I've been told by my mum and my dad, I just straight up collapsed. There was a small bang, which was me doing that, and then there with the bath, and then there was the large bang, which was me literally flat out going straight on the floor. And next thing I knew, I woke up and my mum was basically by my head. My dad was just in the doorway, and they just told me that I fainted. And luckily, the only two things which have come out of that is I have a scratch on my back and my head is quite sore where it happened. I don't really feel a lump, but I reckon there is one because like it's clearly bruised. When I touch it, it hurts. But that was my first ever experience of fainting. And do you know what? The scary thing for me still isn't the fainting part. Because like it's weird that I don't know what happened between standing next to the bath and then suddenly my parents have magically appeared. But the scary thing was
for the first time, isn't it?
In a way, yeah. Just unfortunately not willingly. The strangest thing is still completely losing control of a limb. I have never, ever, ever, ever experienced that in my life, and I still find it so freaky that I completely lost control of my hand. And there was massive pins and needles on it, so it was very clear that the blood had drained from my hand. I completely cut off circulation. I know it sounds gruesome for the people that don't like medical. But the fact that happened, so strange. Anyway, I'm fine. Very minor injuries, nothing to worry about, and definitely a first.
Yeah, it's weird. Your first one's always the weird one.
You can say that in many different contexts, though.
I mean, you're not wrong, though, are you? Realistically, there.
Oh dear.
But I remember the first time I fainted. I think I got too hot or something.
Yeah.
And I was just in the bathroom, and next thing I know, I'm on the floor with my hand underneath the door.
With your under the door? How did it get under?
I don't know. There's not that much room under my door.
Oh.
But my hand was under the door. Not like fully under, like my fingers were under.
Oh right, okay.
It
wasn't like trapped, was it?
No.
Okay.
Pull it back out. But obviously I pushed it under. Cats, if they were there, they would have a lovely fun time there. Like,
licking the fingers.
Oh, hand! But luckily that wasn't the case. That was my first time fainting. I was like, bit weird.
But that was scary.
Yeah, because I don't remember really what happened.
Do you remember what happened after?
Not really. I think I just got up, got on with things again.
Oh, fair enough.
But
have you done it multiple times, or is that the one and only time?
I think I fainted like 3 times before, but nothing like major. It's all been like the same sort of thing, like too hot of a bath or something like that, you know?
Yeah. I think the other thing was, other than obviously there was brief sickness and dizziness, and just feeling generally quite lightheaded. Those symptoms were very, very quick, and then it happened. Whereas before, I know that I've been about to faint before because I went to this event when I was younger, and you had to stand up in a hall for the start of it before going off and doing your own thing. Now in that hall, it was really, really hot. It was such a hot summer's day, and I remember I started feeling dizzy. My vision started going blurry, and my ears were properly ringing. And I had to leave the hall and go into the toilet. I ran water on me, and I was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I just had none of that. I had absolutely none of that night. It was just, I was gone. Other than the very initial first 10, 30 seconds of it.
I guess it could be the blood rushing back into your arm.
Possibly. I reckon it's got to be panic. It's got to be a panic-induced.
Probably a bit of a mix. I'd think it'd probably be a bit of a mix of the panic and your blood rushing back, and then because you're panicking, your blood's rushing faster than it should do, or something like that as well.
That's a possibility. I don't know. Either way, I'm fine. You're fine. We are all fine and dandy. What was that bang?
Fainted. Space! What
Space.
a lovely place.
It is.
Where we have spent less money for space than we have on our own track and trace.
That rhymed.
That was a good rhyme, unintentionally.
That was a good rhyme. Yeah, well done.
So, if you don't know, latest thing that's happened in the world, there's a lot of things that have happened, but one of the biggest latest things is we have sent a new rover to Mars!
Way!
Well, not me and Fraser, but NASA.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was the one that told the rover to sing happy birthday on its birthday.
Oh, okay.
No,
Fair
I
enough.
didn't. I didn't.
Oh. I've actually sent a rover to Mars before.
Have you? What did it do?
Yeah. Well, I sent them an email, and I was like,
Yep.
"Hey, Mars, can I send a rover to you?" And they said no. So I sent them a letter with a rover inside, and that was it.
So it might have gone, it might not have.
Yeah, and it was to the chocolate bar company, not
Oh.
not to Mars.
Oh, for God's sake, I completely didn't see that one coming.
To be fair, though, I have had a similar thing before where I've sent something to Nestle because they forgot to put the wafer in my thing.
Uh-huh.
Kit Kat. And I got free Kit Kats.
No way.
Yep, they gave me a £2.50 voucher at Tesco.
Oh my God, if I complained every time that happened, I'd be bloody rich.
Do it. I made like a big point about it on Twitter just to try and like get a free Kit Kat.
Oh my God.
But
Fair
anyway,
play.
Mars.
Yeah.
They have sent a new rover there. It
Do you know
is
what? I've actually
roughly-
sent a rover to Mars before as well.
Have you?
I bought some storage space on a hard drive and I'd made a site so everybody could buy some storage space and then upload a picture or a video.
Yeah.
And it's going to Mars.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
Pretty
I'm going to
impressive.
shut up. That's a shit joke. Yeah, so you were saying.
190 miles away. 190 million miles away.
I was going to
Mars?
say 190 miles away. That's closer than me to you. I
No,
think.
I think you're 150-ish.
Okay, it's
160-ish.
closer than us to Orlando.
Yeah.
We could go to Mars quicker.
190 million miles away, though, I think it is.
Unbelievable.
I think my Alexa said it was 240 kilometers or something like that. 240 million kilometers.
Oh
It's
my
about
God.
190 million. So that was 10 times cheaper than our track and trace system,
Uh-huh.
which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And we've now got some HD images from Mars, and I think
They
there's a
look
video coming out
so
as well.
So cool.
Mm.
I'm so impressed. And it just goes to show that the red planet isn't actually always red. It's
No,
it's actually quite musky in
yeah,
places.
kind of like a mustard color.
In a way, yeah. That's a pretty good description of it. It's called the Perseverance. The Perseverance landed on the 19th.
Yeah,
I think it was. It was the 19th. Okay, God, thank goodness for that.
I don't know. I was just saying, yeah.
All right, I'm pretty sure it was the 19th. Oh my God, please say Perseverance landed on the
Do you
19th.
want me to have a look? It was the 19th.
Okay, thank God for that. I just had a moment of, I know that's right, but I kind of think it's wrong at the same time. And it's going to aid with the existing Mars operations that are up there. I think the good thing about this one as well is that not only is it another rover to improve the existing Mars technology up there, but it's got so much better technology than the one that's already up there.
Yes.
So it can do a
And it's
lot
bigger.
more in a quicker time. And it's in a different location. And as you said, it is bigger as well. Did you see how they got it there?
Yeah, it was like a jetpack thing, wasn't it?
It was like a rocket-operated landing craft, which was absolutely unbelievable. So obviously, it went up into the sky using a rocket. Absolutely no shit there. But to get it onto the planet, it was attached to this, like... Imagine in the movies, they have, like, as you said, a jetpack. But it's like a 4-jetted jetpack. And beneath it, connected by a string, is the rover. This was all going onto the planet. And that jetpack was there to slow down the descent speed of the rover.
Which it did.
It did. And it looked, do you know what? It looks so futuristic. That's probably one of the few things which actually makes you feel like you're living in the future.
Yeah.
You would never see it on this planet, but to see it happening on that planet, absolutely unbelievable.
And I think I saw the biggest thing with that is once it kind of cuts the cord between the rover and the jetpack thing, the jetpack gets shot back up into the sky to then basically blow up.
Yeah.
It gets shot back into the sky to move away from the site of where the rover is to then crash land back onto the planet.
Do you know what else I found really, really cool about it? And this has nothing to do with the rover, but still related. The reaction of everybody that was involved.
It's always cool to see that, isn't it? Even I got my dad up here as well to look at it.
The celebration is so wholesome. And another thing which I don't know, you might have seen it, you might not have, but there was a video that was going around on TikTok of somebody's who, I can't remember if it was their father or their significant other, I honestly don't know because you couldn't see the person. They were working from home and they were contributing to the Mars rover landing, clearly working for NASA as well. And they were watching the live stream as well as obviously having their own dashboard open and getting their own intermittent radio communications with NASA. And he was like, and we have touchdown, but he was by himself, obviously with his daughter or wife, I don't know. And he was kind of like, oh my God, we've done it. And he didn't know how to celebrate because he wasn't with anybody. But then he saw on the live stream that everybody else was celebrating. And when they started celebrating, he started celebrating, like massive cheer and everything. It was so nice to watch. So nice.
I haven't seen that. I want to have a look at that afterwards.
I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. Send me a link afterwards.
But it's so cool. I find that to be like one of the most rewarding things. And to think that
really
some people
wholesome.
to think that they've dedicated like a massive chunk of their lives as well. I think that was his fifth landing of a craft on a different planet.
Oh wow!
So he's absolutely doing mad.
Oh, sweet.
It is impressive though, sending something like that to a completely different planet.
Well, you know they got a helicopter as well in the rover. It's like a little drone.
Oh yeah, they do, don't they?
It's currently charging up at the moment, but yeah, it relies on solar panels apparently, so it's very much as long as there's enough light, it should, in theory, work.
I think as well as that, they've also said that it's got to survive the cold, harsh Martian nights, and if it doesn't survive, then they knew it was possibly a risk, but otherwise. It's got to very
small
that.
Though, so I'm guessing that doesn't cost as much.
Oh, probably not. I don't know what the gravity's like on Mars either, but I reckon it's probably easy to fly.
It's got to be somewhat good for the rover to be able to drive around, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess it's got to be decent. But it's all very cool. Like, I know they're apparently planning on doing like another moon landing at some point, aren't they?
They are. I've heard about that. Would you ever go to the moon?
Amazing.
If you had the opportunity to go to the moon, would you go to the moon?
Yeah. Because then you're one of the only people that said, I've gone to the moon.
That is true. That is very true.
I think the worst thing for me is the chances of a rocket. Like, you've seen all these videos and stuff of rockets like blowing up and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen to me.
I think in recent times, though, other than the SpaceX stuff, which is intentional, it's rarely happened.
Yeah, it is very rare to happen now. But I'm sure that was kind of like the thing with like planes and stuff when they first came around, you know?
Oh, definitely.
So, I guess it's taking that risk once it's safe enough.
And everybody listening as well, let us know, tweet us at Stuck in a Podcast, would you like to go to the moon? The secret word today is actually moon as well. So make sure you tweet at Stuck in a Podcast with the secret word moon, because that will make you a super duper cool person. There was a couple of people which heard our last secret word, Kai. Yeah. You know how we stuck it at the very end and we were like, oh, nobody listens to the very, very end.
What was the last one? Was it roller coaster?
No, because we didn't do it at the end of that Sophie podcast. We did it at the end of episode 3. Oh, what was that?
Fainted again.
Oh dear. No, we had the secret word Doge at the end of episode 3. And Tangela, Lucy W, and Royce, and Peter as well. The 4 of you all got the secret words. So GG.
Hold on, guys.
But yeah, secret word for this week, moon.
Moon.
I think we should leave it there.
We should have a special guest.
Oh!
Not sure
have a guess who?
Yet, but have a guess.
I don't even know who it is at this point in time.
Neither of us do.
No.
We've got ideas, but we might have one, and we'll let them come up with next week's special word.
That's a good idea. That is a really good idea. Let's move on. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of... Help! I'm stuck in a podcast! We upload a new episode of the podcast every single Wednesday, so make sure you follow us over here on Spotify to get notified as to when we next upload. Also follow us on our Twitters. At Stuck in a Podcast is our main one. At FraserIRL is mine, and at Kai Ross-Best is Kai's. So make sure you go and follow us for updates for what's going on in our lives, as well as to be notified on there when we have a new episode up as well. Tell us our secret word. Let us know. And if you've listened to this point, you've skipped to the very end and you don't know what the secret word is, listen back to the podcast, because we've put a secret word in this episode and you want to make sure that you are tweeting us the secret word on our Twitter at Stuck in a Podcast. If you don't, Kai will make you faint. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No, not really.
Cool. That's all good then. Thanks so much for listening. And until next time, don't forget to follow or else you might faint. Bitch.